Ever met someone who made you feel alive, thrilled, maybe even a little obsessed, and then completely wrecked your peace of mind? You saw the red flags. You knew they were a walking emotional tornado. But still, something in you kept saying, just one more text. Yeah, that's not love. That's your brain being a little too clever and a little too outdated. See, your brain was built for survival. Spot danger, adapt to chaos, bond fast, especially under stress. Only now the saber tooth has been replaced by someone who leaves you on red for 3 days, then love bombs you like it's a talent show. There's something called trauma bonding, where you form strong attachments to people who hurt you. It's not chemistry. It's cortisol and dopamine playing hot potato with your emotional health. If chaos feels familiar, your mind might mistake it for normal, even comforting. That unpredictable reward, it's the same trick slot machines use. And just like that, you're hooked. Pain, relief, pain again. You're chasing crumbs that feel like cake. This is also why healthy people can seem boring. No drama? Must be something off, right? Because in a twisted way, stability feels unsafe. And your brain's just following scripts from long, long ago. It's not your fault, but it is your brain doing what it thinks is best. And maybe it's time to teach it a new story. You ever look back at someone you were really into and think, wow, that was a walking, talking red flag parade, and I brought snacks to watch it go by? Yeah, same. It's weird how you can know someone isn't good for you, but your brain still goes, yes, this chaotic energy, I love it. Like you're emotionally allergic, but also addicted. And the worst part, it doesn't even feel wrong at first. It feels exciting. Butterflies, drama, you mistake for passion. But here's the thing, your brain isn't dumb. It's just working off old software. If you grew up around love that was inconsistent or conditional, your brain learned that unpredictability equals normal. When someone shows up with that same roller coaster energy, your brain doesn't see danger. It sees familiarity. It's like your nervous system is playing a greatest hits album of your childhood experiences and calling it love. They love bomb you on Tuesday, ignore you by Friday, apologize by Sunday, and your body says, yep, seen this. It's not about being broken. It's about being wired to survive confusing relationships. And don't even get me started on dopamine. That little brain chemical lives for the drama. One sweet message out of nowhere, and boom, reward. Your brain goes, see? It is love. Even though 5 minutes ago, you were crying into a tub of ice cream. Googling emotional maturity in adults. You recreate it over and over with new faces, same red flags. Because at the end of the day, your brain isn't looking for happiness. It's looking for what's familiar, even if it's what hurt you. And let's be honest, half the time, you're not even seeing the red flags. You're trying to repaint them. You don't fall for who they are. You fall for their potential, for the version you wish they'd be if they just got their act together. And every time they throw you a crumb, your brain turns it into a 4-course meal of hope. But here's what nobody tells you. It was never about them. It's about healing that part of you that thought love had to be hard to be real. Healing doesn't mean you'll never get triggered. It means you'll stop calling the pain love. At first, the healthy stuff might feel boring. But over time, boring starts to feel like peace. And peace, that's where real love grows. Familiar doesn't have to be your future. You can choose something different and you'll still be lovable, even without the chaos. Ever notice how really smart people still make wildly dumb decisions? That's confirmation bias. Your brain loves to find proof you're right and quietly ignores everything else. Then there's the Dunning-Kruger effect, where clueless people feel super confident and experts just doubt themselves. And when you finish a terrible $9.99 sandwich and think, well, I paid for it, that's sunk cost fallacy. You keep investing in bad choices just because you already did. And that moment when you start watching a bad movie and think, I've already been at it for an hour, can't stop now, that's another brain glitch. Then there's the halo effect. One good trait, and your brain assigns all the virtues. Biases don't just hit one person, they're contagious. And what's worse, your own brain is usually the one pulling the strings, and you don't even notice. We all like to think we're logical, thoughtful people until bias smacks us in the face. And realizing it, that's the hilarious and humbling part. Biases are like that voice in your head that says, go with your gut, even when logic is waving its arms like a maniac. Ever overthink something simple, like talking to someone at a party? That's another classic bias. Overthinking in reverse. With social media, we're constantly exposed to curated lives, making us feel worse about our own. That's contrast bias at its finest. Ever read all the self-help books, feel inspired, and still find yourself stuck? That's self-serving bias. You see what you want to see. Your brain craves easy answers, but real life is more complex than a BuzzFeed quiz. That's anchoring bias. And that moment when you tell yourself, just one more episode, and suddenly it's 3 a.m., availability bias. When you desperately try to get someone to agree with you, that's escalation of commitment bias. And let's not forget the ultimate kicker, the hindsight bias when everything seems obvious after it happens. At the end of the day, even the smartest people aren't immune to cognitive biases. We all have them, and we all make dumb decisions. So next time you find yourself making a questionable decision, just remember, you're not alone. We're all just trying to make sense of the chaos, one bias at a time. Sometimes the more you learn about your biases, the more you see them everywhere, making you feel like you're trapped in a cognitive bias feedback loop. Ever try to balance emotion and logic? Spoiler alert, your brain loves the marshmallow more than the rock. Chasing perfection? Expect an unexpected freefall? Ever meet that friend who quotes the same self-help gurus over and over? That's the bandwagon bias. When your brain latches onto a new trend because it's flashy, that's the availability heuristic. People fear losing what they have, so they avoid risks. That's loss aversion. And confidence can trick you into thinking you're invincible. That's optimism bias. Too many options? Your brain shuts down. Welcome to choice overload. And when you sprint towards something because it's a limited time offer, that's scarcity bias at work. The bandwagon effect makes us follow the crowd, even when it's clearly a bad idea. Ever thought you totally nailed something, only to realize you were fooling yourself? That's self-serving bias. At the end of the day, biases make us human. But hey, at least we can laugh at ourselves while we're at it. Embrace your biases, laugh at the chaos, and remember, you're not alone in this.